Welcome to Smackey's Garage. Today we're going to be doing a toolbox tour, something a little bit different than what we usually do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to walk through my new toolbox that I purchased last month, maybe it was the month of July. And we're going to go through kind of how I have it organized, what tools I have in there for a home hobbyist car do-it-yourselfer. So I have two cars that I work on if you're new here. I have a 69 Mustang and I have a 2013 Shelby. I mostly work on the 69 Mustang in my truck, but we're gonna walk through a tour of this US General toolbox. So I bought this toolbox last month. I bought the US General 44-inch. It's a Series 2 toolbox, and I've liked it so far. I've organized things in a way where I have the majority of the tools that I use frequently are in the center. The top is the bigger tools, and the bottom is stuff that I don't use as often. So we're gonna work our way from the top all the way to the bottom. So up top of my toolbox, this is where I keep a lot of the bigger tools, some of the power tools that I have. I have a Tecton torque wrench, so I have the big 1/2-inch torque wrench for doing things like car lug nuts and just working on motors. I have the smaller 3/8-inch CDI torque wrench. This is another torque wrench that I use frequently. And then I have a smaller Tecton 1/4-inch torque wrench, which is in inch-pounds, which I use frequently when I'm working on the carburetor on the car. Also up here I have my alignment gauge, which I use on kind of this car here. I have two batteries. I have both, actually 3 batteries if you include this one. I have two M18 batteries. I have the XC 8.0 and the CP 2.0. I use this for everything from a small vacuum to working in the lawn to sometimes using the M18 fuel impact wrench, but I use it a lot more on the leaf blower and yard tools. I have an M12 fuel brushless 3/8 drive, and this has been really nice to have, and it works really well when I'm working on the car. I have standard oil filter removal tool, and then these which I picked up, which are hooks for hanging your brake calipers when you're working on your car. Didn't know they existed, but they're really useful. In the back over here, I have a bunch of markers, pens. I think this pen right here kind of shows what's coming. It's a fast cap, long nose pattern marker in silver. I have a white Sharpie. I have a white pen, and then a black Sharpie and a blue pen. I think it's really important working on vehicles and working on cars to have multiple different colors, because if you're trying to mark something that's black, it's really hard to see. So that's when something like this Sharpie marker comes in. This silver marker I'm going to be using specifically for doing the fast cap foam on the toolbox. All right, so we're going to move down. We can go through pliers, screwdrivers, sockets, random, Allen and torque wrenches, socket drives, small air tools, and then some of the recording equipment for my YouTube channel. So within the pliers drawer, I have everything from channel locks to vice grips to multiple different sizes of needle nose. These become important, especially when you're working on cars, to be able to grab small things that are in the back. I have these from vice grip here for rings. I have pipe wrenches in here for now because they need space for them. I have this tool, which is used to get spring clips off of an exhaust on a snowmobile. Hog ring plier, I got this off of Amazon to do the seat on my 69 Mustang. And then 2 pairs of diagonal cutters for working on cutting anything, I guess. So in my screwdriver drawer, I have a new set of Tecton screwdrivers that I just bought that I'm really liking. I like the grip on them, and I mean, it's a good set for under $100. I also have a small ratcheting screwdriver with different tips. I use this on everything from carburetor work to anything that's tight. Small set over here again, like a jeweler's set that I'm also using for small projects. And then I have my ultra long Phillips head screwdriver, which I mainly use on my snowmobile to get things that I can't access. Next drawer, we're gonna look at the sockets. Now, here's, I think, one of the drawers that's really going to benefit from this fast cap foam over there, or the Kaizen foam. So my plan is to better organize these, but we'll walk through what I have now. For all of my tools and sockets, I have a matching SAE kit as well as a metric kit. So I have the standard shallow ones. I have a 1/4 inch set, so I can work with a 1/4 inch drive if there's not a lot of room. And then I have a deep set here. All of these are from Tecton, and I've really liked them so far. I like that they come organized in this kit. I also have impact sockets here, which are, I have both SAE and metric underneath. So I need to get these organized, get them better in the drawer. Then the last drawer on the top is kind of where I keep some miscellaneous test stuff. I have my timing light, I have my Autel OBD2 reader, and then I have a battery tester. Going back over here to the top, Allen and torque wrenches. I have 2 Bondhouse, or Bondis, however you say it, Allen key sets, and I really like them. They work very well in the car. I've yet to round one off, but I'm sure it's coming. I have smaller sets that I've collected over the years, and just some random ones out. Now for socket drives, this is where I need to do a little bit more work. You know, I have some extensions, but I don't have enough socket drives, or I don't have good enough quality ones. I need to get a better set of socket drives. I have the long 1/2 inch one. I have this 3/8 inch one, which I've had literally forever. And then I have this Craftsman one, I believe. Yep, this Craftsman 3/8, and then 2 smaller 1/4 inch drive ones. I have another one, but I don't know exactly where it is. Need to do some upgrading here, but you know, it's gotten me by so far. And coming from my past toolbox to the toolbox that I'm now, it's a good time for me to get these set up and organized and get the set that I want. As with tools, I think, you know, with a lot of people, it's an evolution. You end up starting with some tools, like these are probably, I've had these probably for like, I don't know, at least 5 years, 10, maybe 10 years. So you start with some set of tools, maybe they're a cheaper set of tools, and then over time you get yourself to better and better tools. In the air tools, I just have 2 sprayers right now just to blow it out. I have my air compressor over there, and with the air compressor is a Goodyear hose reel. That Goodyear hose reel has a tire filler on it. Recording equipment, it's not really cameras, it's more just lights and microphones, some tripods, things that I use when I'm doing videos. Now, open-end wrenches. Now we're continuing on the Tecton path of, I think all of these are Tecton wrenches, they are. So Tecton SAE, Tecton metric, and then I have Tecton SAE with ratcheting. I use the ratcheting ones pretty often. I use them more often than I probably this set over here. Unless I'm really trying to get something off, then I'll stick with the normal set. Now, also in here I have all these extra Craftsman and open ends. One of the ways that I like to take care of my friends is, you know, after I get a new tool set like this, I always take my old tool sets and kind of put them all together so that if friends need tools, I can donate them to them so that they can enjoy them, especially if they don't have a set. So with my old toolbox, I'm giving that away. I'm also giving these open-end wrenches away to a lot of my friends. Have some adjustable wrenches over here. So we're gonna go down to the electrical drawer here, which is where I keep a lot of my electrical stuff. I don't use it as often, but you see I have some connectors or buses here. I have all the connectors that go with it. I need to get some more wiring because I'm running out of that. Shrink wrap, crimpers, my Fluke multimeter, and then the test lead kit that goes with it. So underneath that is going to be a lot of the adhesives that I use. So you have weather strip adhesive, so that's used on a lot of the cars. I have some JB Weld, some Gorilla Glue, which I was using on a cabinet outside, some Loctite, some sealant, and some gasket maker. Now underneath that is my carburetor drawer. I have set of main jets, or a jet assortment for the carburetor. I have pump and needle tuning kit, which is really critical if you're trying to tune a car. And I have a ton of extra gaskets. So these are the bowl gaskets. I have a bunch of different gaskets here that I like to keep on hand in case I need them. And then I have a full rebuild kit, which also includes some of these gaskets. In case I need to rebuild the carburetor, I need something. I have the jet tool here to remove them. And then that's my Holley carburetor kit. You know, one of the other things I've heard from a bunch of people online is that it's probably good to keep an extra carburetor around in case you need some extra parts, so I'll probably grab one of those as well. Now to the bottom drawer, I have, this is a Torx wrench kit that I got, which is, I use, so my wife drives an Audi, so it needs work pretty much every week. So with her Audi needing work, I use this Torx kit a lot on that car because the German cars use Torx a lot more than American cars apparently. I have my brake tool here for compressing brake calipers when I'm working on my brakes on my cars. Here I have a borescope that I recently purchased. Haven't really got to use it anywhere, but this borescope I've been playing around with to see in small places. I have a Dremel, and then I have a tap and die kit from Harbor Freight. So the Dremel I've been using pretty often. This is a cordless one that I like. Then I have oxygen removal tools, oxygen sensor removal tools, which is critical for working on newer cars. And then a kit of easy outs to remove stuck bolts. Now moving to the sharps and measurements, I have a dial gauge, a digital gauge. These are a dental kit if I need to do anything small or delicate. I have a lot of different scissors and cutters. Tape measure, I have my micrometer here, or my digital micrometer here. I have a few different cutters, and then as you can see, my Kaizen knife, which I'm going to be using to organize my tools. Vacuum gauges, anything just to measure. Spark plug measurement, I have some knives in here. This is gap measurement. Not really well organized, but it's going to get there. Next is hammers and small pry tools. So I have small pry tools here for working on the car to take things out. The hammer I have right here is a nice rubber mallet. I don't keep my larger hammers in here, my wood hammers. I keep those in kind of the wood shop at the house. Next are my screwdrivers that I need to organize. So when I replaced all these screwdrivers with the Tecton kit, I need to find a place for these screwdrivers. I'm going to be organizing them. I'm going to be figuring out which ones should go to friends and then which ones I'm going to keep. A lot of the files and everything I need to find a place for. So that's going to be coming up. Next I have some drill bits, a DeWalt kit, as well as a label maker for making labels such as this. And then in the last drawer, it's really battery stuff. So I have a battery measurement kit here. I have a battery charger from Noco Genius here. I have the battery tender charger, and that's pretty much it. So for myself, this is a pretty big upgrade on my toolkit. I'm very happy to finally have a full-size toolbox. I've been working out of a smaller Craftsman recently, and I've been storing things over there around my workbench. I'm really excited to finally get something bigger where I can store more tools, and I don't need to feel bad about buying them and not having a place for them. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to end up putting some of the Kaizen foam in there. I bought a lot of the stuff from Fast Cap, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you'll be able to see a lot of the work that I do, pulling that together, getting organized. Thanks for tuning in to Smackey's Garage. I'll see you next week.